The Kolbrin Bible 3,600 years old, taken from the Book of Scrolls formerly called the Book of Books or the Lesser Book of the Sons of Fire, this being the third book of the Bronze Book. Chapter 16, the third of the Egyptian Scrolls, a fragment. If a man would know heaven, he must first know earth. Man cannot understand heaven until he understands earth. He cannot understand God until he understands himself, and he cannot know love unless he has been loveless. God is unknown but not unknowable. He is unseen but not unseeable. God is unheard but not unhearable. He is not understood but he is understandable. The goal of life is upstream, not downstream. Man must struggle against the current, not drift with the flow. A child is born knowing all God intended it to know, the rest it must discover for itself. Man does not live to increase the glory of God, this cannot be done, but to increase the glory of man. He who worships with empty rituals wastes his time and displays the shallowness of his thought. That which man does to benefit man is good, but if he seeks to gratify God it is a labor of ignorance, showing disrespect for God whose nature is above that of earthly princes. A lifting hand is worth 10 wagging tongues. Be a man of fortitude and courage. Prepare to fight, for earth gives man but two choices, to struggle or perish. There is work to be done in the garden of God, therefore cease useless performances and word-wasting discussions, go, pick up the hoe and tackle the task to hand. This is the secret of life, man lives in God and God lives in man. This answers all questions. Chapter 17, the sixth of the Egyptian Scrolls. God is in all and he encompasses all. There is no God but the true God, and his existence is our assurance of life everlasting. He was before the beginning and will be after the end. He is mighty and all-powerful. In his magnificence and majesty no man can conceive him. His divine nature is beyond the understanding of man. His creation is awesome. His ways unfathomable. His creative thought brought all things forth, and the power which flows from him is life. He holds life within his mind and the universe within his body. If a man, in ignorance and foolishness, conceives a more understandable God in his own image or builds gods of wood and stone, that will not take anything away from the stature of God. The Supreme One is ever God, the Creator of man, and if man makes earthly gods to worship, then it is man who loses thereby and not God. Among earthly things man shall find nothing greater than himself. Man worships, not to make God greater, for this he cannot do, but to make himself greater. Nothing man can do can add to what God already has. Men conceive God as a being having greatly magnified human qualities, as a king-like being greater than any king. Thus man falls into error. As the sun surrounds man with light, though it be hidden behind the storm clouds, so is man in the thoughts of God, though God himself be hidden from him. Such is our God who, though himself eternal, lives with each man and with him passes through the dark portal of death into the light of the glorious region beyond. God rules over all earths and all spheres. He is in them and they are in him. All things are in God and he is in all things. What is was to be, all things begin and end in God. This alone is wisdom, understand and live forever.